In One Piece episode 1151, Vegapunk World broadcast was beginning to crack, and viewers wondered what was going on. Some of the Marines were scared of seeing the giant beast, and wondering what was going on in Egghead. Is that a boar or mammoth? Saturn contacted York to know how many Vegapunks were still alive. York checked the punk record, and reported that it was only herself, Lilith, and Atlas. She reported that Lilith is on this cloud island not far from her position, and Atlas is at the northeast coast, with the giant pirates. The bird elders wondered if it's necessary to take them out, and Saturn replied by saying, since punk record will continue to grow even after Vegapunk's death, the only person's development that will be beneficial to them is York. Saturn gave a command to eliminate all the Vegapunks on the island, except York. Kaku told Stussy to run away, since he cannot bring himself to kill her. He also mentioned that if Rob Lucci should arrive, he won't be able to stop him. She tried to resist, and he let her run, so she did. Since Dory and Broggy were ready to leave Elbaf, their crew set sail in advance. Dory and Broggy show their crew moving, and understand that they have to jump to get on board. Luffy stretched his hand forward, wrapped it on a tree. Luffy flew ahead of the Elbaf giant. They were still doing Nika dance in the air. The giant waited for Dory and Broggy, while Frankie and Sanji waited for Luffy. After the giant landed, Luffy was still falling. After Luffy landed, he was beginning to wonder how big the ship was. Luffy and his crew were walking towards Dory and Broggy. They turned back to see Oimo and Kashiai. He jumped towards them, typical Luffy. First thing he asked for was meat. One of the Vice Admiral's doll was chasing the giant pirates. By surprise, she got hit by bunny lasers. Vice Admiral Doll shrunk half naked and fell into a fellow Vice Admiral's ship. The Marines just realized that Vice Admiral Blueglass and Vice Admiral Doll just became younger and smaller. Vice Admiral Blueglass looked at herself and blamed Bunny for making her body so weak. Bunny dissed Vice Admiral Doll and Blueglass of the punishment they will go through if they fail to catch her. Sanji checked on Nami and other Straw Hats. Nami responded back. Thanks to Edison they can escape, but she was not sure they will land on sea. Nami requested for backup in case they don't land on sea. Sanji promised to save all the girls. Frankie also promised to save the ship. They all left Usopp pleading for help in advance. Sanji and Bunny spotted the elders coming from far away. Luffy was eating meat to regain his Nika abilities back. With a big tummy, he requested that the giant prepare another meal. It's not enough, he said. The bird elder stood from a distance and prepared to release a hot laser flame on the giant ship. The giant pirates stood their ground and shielded the fire, but the heat and pressure overwhelmed them as the elder kept increasing the heat. In panic, they turned from defense to cleaning out the flames from their ship, while Bunny worried about her father's health. Dory and Broggy just realized they can't run away from the bird elder. The same moment the bird was preparing for a second round, Nika drum began to hit. Bunny looked around and wondered where that drum beat was coming from. From the background, Luffy screamed that he now has a full belly. The same moment all the ships on sea began to bounce upward. The bird elder ceased fire as panic spread among the Marines and Navy units. As the drum played on, Dory and Broggy remembered it's a festival rhythm. So they started dancing the Nika dance, while Luffy was waving his body mid-air or mid-flame. Bunny looked around in shock, just to remember that her dad also did something like that. Luffy reminded Bunny of her dreams to knock out the elder, and inspired her that she too can also become Nika, if she put her mind to it, but was left confused and speechless, as she remembered her father's lessons. Bunny smiled and grew in size. Suddenly white smoke burst out. Suddenly, she became Nika. Distorted future. She screamed, and claimed she is even more free than Luffy. Luffy laughed his eyes out in joy, as he saw Bunny's sudden development, while Robot Kuma looked at her progress and remembered the promise he made to her mother Ginny. Luffy and Bunny were now playing lovebirds in the sky, while the elder spotted them and planned to wipe them out, pronto. The bird elder moved towards them instead of being scared. She smiled at it with courage, while Emeth, the giant robot, just regained consciousness. The Navy panicked as they saw Straw Hat's bounty, while the giant pirates hailed them more. The bird elder came back to business. He prepared to release his flame again. But instead of being scared, Luffy planned to take him out. The bird elder got angry after he heard Luffy's sentence, and increased the fire even more. Just like the bird elder, Luffy also was consuming oxygen. So his belly grew big, and took the flame head-on. Luffy screamed like a live chicken that has just been thrown in fire, ordered his crew to hit him at the back. Bonney was confused at the command, but Sanji and Frankie rushed upwards to execute the order. Bonney looked at the two other crew and asked if they will really hit him. Dory gave the Straw Hats hope, while Broggy reminded the giant pirates that the ship is still on fire. Luffy stretched his hand and grabbed the bird elder's wing, and pulled it closer to his belly. The bird elder screamed in panic, while Luffy told his crew to hurry. As Sanji and Frankie flew past Bonney tried to reason with them. But Sanji told her, "That's the captain's order." Sanji prepared his leg, as Frankie prepared his arm. But Bonney was still confused and not sure of what to do, so Luffy told her to stop hesitating. With a smile, Bonney prepared a hockey punch enough to kill Luffy, while Sanji released his hell kick, and Frankie released his arm right. When they all hit Luffy, he looked like a chicken that just got high voltage flowing through his body. He screamed that hurt. Bonney felt like withdrawing out of guilt. With all the chaos, Luffy tried harder to squeeze the bird into his fat belly. While Bonney was not sure if to continue, Sanji told her to push. Like she is about to kill Luffy, Bonney's eyes popped out in surprise. "Kill him!" she screamed. The bird elder struggled to release himself, but Luffy placed it in its place. With all their combined effort, Luffy launched the bird elder straight into the sky. The bird elder lost consciousness before taking off. Luffy then released the oxygen he inhaled earlier. He guaranteed the crew it won't come back again. Bonney rejoiced we did it, as she heard the news. Then Dory motivated the crew again to set sail. Luffy asked Sanji of the other crew, but he replied, they should be coming down by now. But he wondered what was taking them so long. Atlas suggested that maybe something may have happened to them. She then rushed upwards to go and check on the crew. Mid-flight, she also realized that York was still monitoring them. Under the sea, Vegapunk transponder snail gained back consciousness. The Vegapunk video became visible again. People around the world began to watch Vegapunk's broadcast again. Some complained that his voice is not clear, while some complained of unstable network. York realized that the transponder snail has started its broadcast again. So she reported to the 5 elders to destroy the robot permanently. Luffy almost took a nap, but wondered why rocks and CPO are falling from the sky. The Marines jumped to save the CPO, while Luffy spotted the source of the chaos. It's the Worm Elder blasting them out into the sky for a free fall. As Dory was still telling the crew to set sail quickly, the Worm Elder opened his mouth. It began to swallow everything in its path, including the Marines. Out of stress, Bonney lost Nika form and was also about to lose her life, before good boy Sanji stepped in and saved her. As the situation began to get dire, Broggy also started giving commands. The wind took Luffy by surprise, instead of him being scared. He charged a hockey punch and fed it to the giant worm. The vice admirals and other marines from far away were beginning to wonder if they were dreaming. As the Worm Elder kept Luffy busy, the Boar Elder rushed towards the giant ship. In panic, Dory and Broggy were about to run for their lives. Just when every life flashed before their very eyes, some called Joy Boy's name. Immediately something popped out of the sea and took care of the Boar Elder. That thing was a giant robot, and its name was Emeth. The Boar Elder flew back towards the island. While everyone was left confused, some amazed, some thankful and in awe, Luffy screamed Robo, as his eyes turned into a star. To be continued. One Piece episode 1151 ends here. Thanks for watching.